Many people do not really suffer because their life is terrible. They suffer because their mind always focuses on things that are not perfect. They might have a family, a job, good health, opportunities, and many good things around them. But instead of seeing what they have, they only look at what they lack, what they have lost, or things that make them unhappy. And when a person keeps complaining, comparing, and regretting, no matter how full their life is, they still feel empty inside. Today, I want to confirm a very clear message. Our purpose in this world is happiness. Happiness does not start from having everything. Happiness starts from how we look at life, being thankful for small things, and learning to find peace with ourselves. Because after all, our purpose in this world is not just to be more successful, to have more, or to get more attention. Perhaps, the most important thing is learning how to live a happier life. There is a famous study from Harvard University called the Harvard Study of Adult Development. It is considered one of the longest studies ever conducted on human life and happiness. For more than 75 years, researchers followed the lives of 724 men from the time they were teenagers until many of them became old men in their 80s and 90s. Their lives went in many different directions. Some became very successful. One of them even became a U.S. president, John F. Kennedy. Some became wealthy. But others struggled deeply. Some lost their way, faced alcoholism, mental health challenges, or painful losses in life. Year after year, the researchers interviewed them about their work, their families, their emotions, and their relationships. They also studied their physical health in detail. And through this lifelong project, they were trying to understand one simple but powerful question. What truly helps a person stay healthy, happy, and fulfilled throughout life? It sounds simple, right? But actually, this is probably one of the biggest questions in life. What truly makes a happy life? We spend many years looking for happiness. Some people look for it in money. Some people look for it in success. Some people look for it in attention, status, or a life that others admire. And those things are not wrong. Money can make life easier. Success can open more opportunities. Attention can make us feel more valuable for a moment. But after decades of following people's lives, the Harvard study shows a very thoughtful truth. What keeps people happy and healthy in the long run is not how rich they are, how famous they are, or how hard they work. It is the quality of the relationships in their lives. Professor Robert Waldinger, the current director of this study, concluded very clearly, good relationships keep us happier and healthier. And that makes me stop and think. Because it turns out, happiness is not just about what we achieve, but also about having someone to love, someone to trust, someone to come back to, and more importantly, whether we can still connect with ourselves. This sounds very simple, but the more I think about it, the more it makes me stop and reflect. Have you ever asked yourself this question? Why do some people already have many things but still feel empty inside? Some people have a beautiful house, a good job, and a life that looks very desirable from the outside. But they still do not feel real peace inside. This is the paradox of happiness. We often spend a lot of time chasing the things that make us look happy. A better job, a higher salary, a more beautiful house, or a more successful image in other people's eyes. But while we are busy running after these things, sometimes we forget the simple things that are very close to us. A warm meal, an honest conversation, someone who is still by our side, or a new morning when we wake up and still have a chance to begin again. Maybe many people do not really lack reasons to be happy. They are just too focused on what they do not have, and they forget to see the precious things they already have. There are days when just one small thing that does not go our way is enough to make the whole day feel heavy. Maybe our effort is not recognized by others. Maybe someone does something careless and makes us feel sad for the whole day. Maybe everything around us does not happen the way we hoped. And then, from one small problem in the day, our mind starts to bring up many other thoughts. Is my life always like this? Am I not good enough? Will things never get better? But my friend, this is how sadness tricks us. It makes one bad moment look like a whole bad life. It is like a person holding a glass of dirty water and thinking that all the water in the river is dirty too. But the truth is, one tiring event cannot represent your whole life. You have already gone through many difficult times before, and this time, you will be able to get through it too. One hard season does not mean your future is closed. So happiness is not about forcing yourself to be happy when your heart is hurting. Happiness is also not about pretending that everything is okay. Happiness is when you know you are sad, but you do not let that sadness decide the whole way you look at life. If today in front of you, there is a glass of dirty water, something that disappoints you, someone who hurts you, or a result that is not what you expected, please remember that it is only one glass of water, not the whole river. Do not let one bad moment trick you into believing that your whole life is bad. Do not let one pain make you forget that good things have not disappeared. In front of you, there is still a wide river. There are still people who love you, other chances, new days, and a stronger version of you waiting to keep moving forward. Happiness is your right from the very moment you were born and cried for the first time. But as we grow older, many of us forget this. We start to believe that we must achieve something first before we have the right to be happy. We must be more successful, richer, more recognized, a more perfect version of ourselves. Only then do we allow ourselves to feel enough. And just like that, we place our happiness somewhere very far away. At the end of a goal, behind a number in our bank account, inside other people's praise, in some future that even we do not know when we can reach. But if you keep waiting for everything to be perfect before you allow yourself to be happy, maybe you will have to wait your whole life. Because in this life, there will always be something unfinished, a worry that has not disappeared, a goal that has not been reached, someone who does not understand you, or a wound that is not fully healed. Happiness cannot only be a reward at the end of the road. Because if it is, during the long journey before you get there, what will you live on? How will you love yourself? Where will you find the strength to keep moving forward? Do not place your happiness at some milestone in the future. Right now, you still have something worth treasuring. Look back for a moment. Are the things you have now actually the things you once wished for in the past? A job that may be stressful, but still helps you support yourself. A body that may feel tired, but is still carrying you through life. A few friends who may be few, but are willing to listen when you call. We are so busy looking at the things we do not have, that we forget this truth. The things we already have may also be the dream of many other people. There is a saying that I think is very worth thinking about. Happiness is not about having more and more, but about knowing how to let go of what is not necessary. At first, this may sound strange because we often think we need more money, more success, or more fame before we can be happy. I understand that feeling. It is very hard to talk about happiness to someone whose heart is full of worries about money, daily life, too much work, or wounds that have not healed yet. In those moments, the word happiness sounds very far away and even like a luxury. But actually, the most tiring moments are the moments when we need to learn how to let go of unnecessary burdens. Letting go does not mean giving up your dreams or stopping your effort. It means cleaning your mind so it can feel lighter. Please do not forget this. This world has thousands of kinds of flowers. There are elegant roses and bright sunflowers, but a small wildflower by the road also has its own beauty. They do not compete to see who blooms more beautifully. They simply bloom. You are the same. You do not need to be a copy of anyone. Just the fact that you are here in this life, breathing, and trying every day is already a miracle. For a long time, we have kept running after expectations, forcing ourselves to compare, and carrying so many burdens that do not belong to us. And then, we make ourselves exhausted. So please wake up and look at this again. Happiness is not the destination where you finally have everything. Happiness begins when you dare to let go of unnecessary burdens. Letting go is not giving up. It is cleaning your mind to welcome peace. You do not need to be perfect to deserve happiness. You only need to stop hurting yourself with meaningless standards. Allow yourself to rest, to feel weak sometimes, and to live honestly with yourself. When your heart becomes lighter, you will naturally feel happiness from the small things around you. When you choose to let go of unnecessary burdens, you will create more space inside yourself to feel happiness from the simple things around you every day. So how can we practice happiness every day? Especially during the times when life feels too heavy and overwhelming. I think the first thing is this. Do not make happiness into something too big or too far away. Many people think happiness means always being cheerful, always being positive, and always full of energy. But that is not true. During difficult times, sometimes happiness simply means you have not given up yet. It means you still woke up this morning. You are still breathing. You are still trying to get through one more day, even when your heart does not feel okay. Please do not look down on small things like that. In some seasons of life, just not falling apart is already a kind of strength. So if today feels too heavy for you, please do not try to fix your whole life in one night. You do not need to solve all your pressure right now. You only need to make this present moment feel a little lighter. With one deep breath. With one slow step. By turning off some unnecessary noise. By allowing yourself to rest without feeling guilty. And if you can, gently ask yourself one simple question. Right now, what can I do to make my heart hurt a little less? Maybe it is going to bed early. Maybe it is writing down the things that are making you tired. Maybe it is saying no to something that is taking away your energy. Or maybe it is simply placing your hand on your chest, breathing slowly, and reminding yourself, I am still trying. And that is enough for today. In the end, happiness is not always something bright and beautiful. Sometimes happiness is a very quiet choice. The choice to stop making yourself suffer more. The choice to stand by yourself. The choice to keep being kind to yourself, even when life is still not perfect. And maybe that is also the message of today's episode. Our purpose in this world is happiness. We do not come into this world only to chase pressure, to prove our value, or to live a life that always pleases other people. We are also here to learn how to be more peaceful, more loving, more grateful, and happier in a way that truly belongs to us. I will always be here, in the next episodes of the Heal and Grow podcast, so that we can learn English together, heal together, and remind each other to come back and stand by ourselves. And the only sentence I want you to take with you today is, I am choosing to stand by myself. From today, I choose to stand by myself. If this message touched a small quiet place in your heart, please follow this channel so we can continue to heal and grow together. One gentle podcast episode at a time. Tonight, please sleep well because you have tried so hard already. I will see you again in the next episode.